Hi, I'm your host, Sky. Talking about Anna Kepner. She was a cheerleader, 18 years of age, unalived by strangulation aboard a cruise ship, Carnival Horizon. This happened on November 7th, and new details have said that she had asphyxiated and that was brought upon by an arm bar to her neck, thus cutting off her circulation, her blood supply to her brain, any air to her lungs, and anything else that will cause her to be unalived. Now they're looking at the stepbrother as a suspect in this very serious, very sad situation. She was found under the bed in one of the cabins. She was wrapped in a blanket and had life vests on top of her. She was found by cleaning staff, one of the cleaning ladies, around 11 o'clock in the morning, and it just went on from there. Also, it's a tangle web we weave. The mother didn't find out about her own daughter's death or unalivement. Excuse me, I can't say the D word. Her being unalived through Google. She had to look at Google pictures and notes because her I guess her ex husband, they have a fraught relationship, and they really didn't have any words to say before she found out about it on the internet. So that was pretty serious. I thought that was very sad to say, but it's just a very just depressing. It could be depressing. It has you know uh very serious situation. Um, she was in the prime of her life. She was expecting to go to into the military, United States Armed Forces. She was ready to go, beyond just being a cheerleader for Temple uh, Christian School in Titusville, Florida. Um, so she was very energetic, very, peppy, very, life embracing. And it's just a shame that her life, was extinguished from her. Hello, Brooklyn. Hello, Grace Sparkles. Hi, Grace. Hi. So it's just a very very touchy, very sad, very disturbing kind of situation. Caught my eye. It was a message on my phone. I was not even prepared to do this specific show. I was going to do something else, probably on hip hop or something like that. But it came up to me. I was like, it said teen girl found unalived from asphyxiation or something like that. I'm like, she's teen. I'm like, I'm not gonna talk about a minor. Forget that. I'm not gonna talk about any minors in my show. And then she said she was 18. I was like, all right. She was 18 years old, so she's able to be talked about. Um, so it's just a very disturbing, distressing, story all around. I'm gonna try to do it with as much gravitas as possible. You know, get my reporter, journalist status up. Oh, I see you. Who's that? Thanos 0909. Hello, 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 hello. Brooklyn says she was found under a mattress by a housekeeper. That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying by the cleaning staff around 11 o'clock in the morning. With she was wrapped in blankets and had life vests on her. For some reason, there was a reason why had to have happened. I'm saying, I can't find it. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason why she was found that way, in that fashion. Your articulation is excellent. I know you will do a great job on this story. Thank you, Christopher Perkins. Always boosting my ego. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. But so I'm just I'm looking at the mother. she's not, she's not feeling it at all. She's totally, to put it bluntly, she's pissed off because it's like it's beyond pissed off though. It's cruel. It's cruel that she didn't know about her own daughter's death until she saw it on Google. I'm just gonna read a few passages from it. This is from the New York Post. It says the mother of the Florida teen killed on a Carnival cruise, learned of her cheerleader daughter's death or demise. I don't know if demise is found too much, but anyway, online because the girl's pictures and story were plastered all over Google. Heather Wright claimed her estranged ex-husband stayed silent about their 18-year-old's death and failed to break the news to her directly because of her strained family ties. My ex-husband did not try to contact me at all whatsoever to let me know that my daughter died, unalived. Wright told News Nation Friday, hours after news broke that Anna Kepner was apparently unalived by strangulation. Wright, who lives in Oklahoma, first heard her daughter might be unalived from a friend who told her young son that his sister was M stands for you know what, on a cruise ship. The mother desperately tried to contact Kepner on her cell phone and even on TikTok, but not nowhere, and turned to the internet. That's when she saw reports that the high school senior had been found unalived in the cruise cabin she was sharing with her two stepbrothers. Then I Googled 18-year-old unalived, quote unquote, or captions on cruise ship, and that's, or brackets. When my daughter's face popped up all over Google, Wright said. Even law enforcement failed to reach out to her, Wright claimed, alleging they still haven't contacted her in the week since Kepner's November 7th unalivement date. It's real spooky, really spooky. Go to work, Sky. Yeah, I'm going to work. I'm doing my thing. I appreciate it. Tell 1,200 people that I'm in this live right now. That would help out. That would be really great. Just tell 1,200 people that I'm in here right now. That'd be awesome. It was an arm across her neck and had 2 bruises on the side of her throat. A source close to the investigation told ABC News Friday. So this was obviously a forceful, very unapologetic and intentional action. This is not any kind of accident. She didn't swallow something and it went down the wrong way or something like that, or she didn't choke on anything. Somebody deliberately wanted her to be unalived, and whoever it was, they're most likely gonna find out who it is. The forensics of today, the various DNA matchups, the final strands of hair or strands of whatever, that is just amazing to me. I think that is one of the most amazing things we have in this world, that it helps mitigate a lot of crimes, because there's camera systems, there's text system, they track your text messages, they track where you were, what time we were there, and there's a lot of technology that's involved. So I think that's really a good sign. So with this young woman, she was 18. She was this young woman. It's just really, it's just heartrending. It's really, it grabs at your mind. It's a shame, really, because she had just everything going for her. She was going on Carnival cruises. she was a cheerleader. She's 18 years old, young and tender, but somebody struck down her life. Somebody said, you know what, all that, we're going to throw that all out the window. We're not going to deal with that. We're not going to champion that at all. We're not going to say anything on that note. We're gonna have that idea that you're not gonna live anymore. You're not gonna have life. It's just gonna be a system where you're gonna be shut down. We're gonna shut down your whole living system. Everything's gonna be shut down. That's how sad and I think it's depressing. I have been depressed, and I know what the feeling is. I know what it's like, and it's kind of worse. It's kind of like being in the sunken place from the Get Out movie. Um, that's what depression kind of feels like. It's like you're awake, you're conscious, but your consciousness is like fighting with itself. It's like it's going against its own sense. Going against its own purpose, and it's really a struggle to find yourself. And I think that's where her mother is right now, because she was not notified. No, the officials, didn't notify her. Her ex-husband didn't notify her. Nobody did. She had to look on Google to find out about her own daughter and her own daughter's demise. That's extremely sad. That's horrific. I mean, just you have to go find out on the internet instead of somebody coming to you and telling you straight faced, level headed, without any bit of irony or sarcasm or anything like that. Just tell us the straight dope, the truth about your daughter. That's all she wanted, but she didn't get that. She didn't get that. And I think that is a grave disservice, to a mother who lost her daughter in such a horrific fashion. They could have spared her the details. I'm sure she had to comb through. At that time, there probably really wasn't that many details. But like today, they're coming out with the medical examiner's report of her injuries that led to her demise, and it just is just so horrific. It's just horrific and just gut wrenching, just a mind wrenching. It just tears you to pieces just to discuss something like this. And it's always fun and games, right? Every time it's like fun and games. Or usually, sometimes it's some devious stuff you're doing, and you get caught up in it, and then that's how you got messed up. Or you got it's fun and games doing drugs, scheduled drugs, narcotics and stuff, and it's like, yeah, this is awesome, this is great, and then you OD, and it's like, what the heck, It was all fun and games. It's like her. She was not on drug allegedly. She was not doing anything inappropriate or untoward, and she was just enjoying herself on a cruise. What's wrong with that? She was having a good time. She's having a good time on the cruise, and it just turned into a really bad situation, to a sad, totally sad, set of events. And it just bothers me that, for one, like I said, the mother wasn't notified properly. Two, the stepbrother, he's a active suspect. What happened? I think there's another, but I think there's two stepbrothers. Yeah. So she said, he made it extremely difficult for me to even have a relationship with my daughter, said Wright, adding that she spoke with the teen only on birthdays and holidays. Relationship was so strained that Wright did not know anything about the 16-year-old stepbrother being investigated in connection with Kepner's death or demise. You can't say words. You can say words here. The algorithm, whatever. So you gotta keep saying unalived and weird. What is that? Can I just do an aside? I have to say unalived and deed and all these different things. You have to change the language for what? For who are you protecting? Like who's afraid of a word or a set of words? Who's afraid of that? Who's afraid? What's the fear? Oh, you can't say that because the algorithm's gonna get you. You can't say that. whatever. I slipped like 6 times already, though. No suspects have yet been named. They're investigating the stepbrother, 16-year-old stepbrother, but no suspects have yet been named. They have not named any suspects beyond the stepbrother. Y'all gotta tell me if you can hear me or not. I keep forgetting. So, Anna Kepner was just living her life, having the best time, with what she had. Going on a Carnival cruise. What is up with these cruises? They got the poop cruise. They got people dying on cruises. They got, I think there was like in like 5 years ago during COVID, there was like a cruise ship with like everybody had COVID at the same time. It was awful. What is all these cruises? I mean, it's not all of them. All if that were that like that, there wouldn't be a cruise business. I'm not trying to hype it up or trying to intensify. I'm just saying it's just weird how there's certain cruise cruises that are just all jacked up, as to put it lightly. But yeah. So Anna Kepner, model, teenager, young lady, young woman, trying to do the best thing in her life, trying to do the best for her future. Cut down like a blade of grass, like a dead weed. Like she didn't matter, but she did matter. She had a life. She had things going for her. She had things in her life that were going for her. She tried to do everything she could to be the best person she could possibly be. Just trying to be a regular human being, young female, young woman. And then she's found strangled, unalived, wrapped around blankets, or a blanket wrapped around her with life jackets on her. There's got to be some connection here. I'm missing it. Y'all might find it, but I'm missing it. I don't know what it is exactly. There's a reason why there were life jackets on top of her. Maybe so. I don't even want to speculate. I don't even know what was the point of the. I understand the blanket. Usually people get wrapped around with blankets and stuff like that. I can understand that, but the life vests, I don't understand the life jackets. I don't get it. Maybe it's not for me to get. I don't know. Maybe it's not for me to get. Anna Kepner is the latest example of a young woman who died at the hands of some maniac, some vicious, cruel, ugly, disturbed, just immoral excuse for a human being. And I just like I said, I love the technology we have today. Most cases are solved quicker and with better accuracy. More people that are guilty go to prison, as opposed to other people going out of their on their way to stay in freedom. They don't have that luxury anymore. They don't have that ability anymore, or very few have that ability to commit crimes. Because I mean, if we get rid of, I'm gonna make this political. If we get rid of ICE and DEA and everything like that, and start instituting more FBI and more CIA and everything like that, that'd be even better. And police departments around the country, more training, more understanding of the human condition, more understanding of people and what they are doing. I think that would be a really great look. That would be a really excellent look for them, for us as a country, and as the world over. Major places around the globe will be able to do that. So I just say, It says Anna Kepner's brother heard yelling commotion in her crew's cabin while she was locked in alone with her stepbrother. Anna Kepner's younger brother reportedly heard yelling and chairs being thrown inside her crew's stateroom the night before the 18-year-old Florida cheerleader was found unalived, her devastated ex-boyfriend said. The commotion went down as Kepner was in the locked cabin alone with her 16-year-old stepbrother, a suspect in her killing. Now he is a suspect. Joshua Weston told Inside Edition outside her Orlando, Florida funeral Thursday night. Weston said he learned of the apparent disturbance from speaking with Kepner's 14-year-old brother, who was on the Carnival Horizon voyage with her family. He heard the stepbrother yelling at her in a harmful way or like, shut the hell up and stuff like that, and that's when the brother knew there was something going on, Weston said, who affectionately called Kepner his first love. Wow. Kepner didn't feel safe around her stepbrother, her former beau also told the outlet. Weston claimed that in past his ex had been SH'd by her step-sibling, but she kept quiet over fears for her safety. She was scared to tell anybody about because she was scared that he would do something to her, he said Weston. And that's pretty serious. I mean, SH, if you don't know what SH is, that means, serious, mishandling of the body of somebody else. That's it's unwanted, or or speech, that could be construed as harmful. It's weird trying to wade this. I just wanted to test myself because this is really, it's a challenge, but it's not like impossible. I like how it's flowing. It's flowing. This whole, I know I'm blinking like crazy because these lights. I know it's crazy, but it's flowing. She had this relationship with this ex-boyfriend. He's talking to the news, and this stepbrother, who hasn't been talked about that much. That's the serious part about all of this. So she was at the Temple Christian School in Titusville, Florida. She did her thing. She was it says in her obituary, written by her loved ones, described the teen as a girl who loved the sun, the water, boat days, island days, and beach days. Anything that let her soak in the light, she easily radiated to others. And she's gone. I mean, that's just so wow. 18 years old, gone, bam. And a white woman at that. A white woman. A white woman, gone. So, it's very, it's sad, but people die every day, B. Black kids die every day too. Brown kids, red kids, yellow kids, white. All of them. Young adults die every day, B. So this is just another example of how just overt ugliness can be exerted against somebody so apparently pure, apparently righteous, apparently good. Not even if she weren't. If she were a terrible human being, you can't kill a terrible human being. You can't murder. You can't unalive a terrible human being. You can't unalive them. Can't unalive them. You can't do that. You can't just jump out and say, I don't like you. You don't like your ways. I don't like how you are treating me. Bang, or I'm gonna put an arm bar around you and until you suffocate, till you have asphyxiation. that you can't do. I mean, you ought not do that. I mean, shouldn't that be obvious? I mean, that's the scary thing. It's like the emotional factor. It's all emotional. It's all about sacrificing your values for a lesser one, which is a jail cell or um, an electric chair or a table with your arm stretched out for a lethal injection. That's what it all boils down to. This whole issue does. That's the reality. So we have to just understand that. We have to understand that there are evil, horrific people in this world, and people that allegedly, like Anna Kepner, um, she apparently, and for all intents and purposes, was a model citizen. She was a great young adult. She was 18 years old, prime of her life, living it up, getting soaking up the sun, soaking up the rain, well, not the rain, but the ocean water, soaking up the sandy beaches, taking in her life, just enjoying life, just enjoying the best parts of life, making memories, with the friends you'll never forget. That's her. That was her whole goal. That was her whole role in trying to be a cheerleader and an 18-year-old and somebody that could be trusted and somebody that could be loved. And I'm thinking about the mother, her terrible predicament, how she had to learn about her own daughter's unalived state via the internet. That is just so impersonal, so not right. Basically, it's just so not right. It's just not proper procedure. I don't understand how the officials really let that go. How they allowed that to happen, but I mean, these things do occur. Especially when you have estranged and relationships fraught with uncertainty, as the mother had. She had that bit of uncertainty about her own daughter for years. For years it went on like this. We got Bumba, who was on the ship. What do you mean who was on the ship? Explain further. I don't know what you mean. Who? Two stepbrothers were on the ship. There's a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I think the father might have been on the ship as well. But I know definitely that she was on the ship, obviously. But I think it was something else. I think the father was on the ship as well, for the minors. I can't even explain their names or anything like that because they're minors. But she is unalived, and she was 18 years of age, so I can speak about her. But that's all I know who was on the ship in this particular case. There was like hundreds, if not thousands, of people on the ship. It was a huge cruise ship, so that's how many people wanted. Wouldn't the Yeah, that's the whole question. I don't know who the M is. Who is the M? I don't know who the Emmer is. Whoever the Emmer is, they have yet to be announced. They have a suspect with the 16-year-old allegedly. I was getting mixed reports saying that they don't have suspects, but then they say they do. They have a suspect in the 16-year-old stepbrother, and that's as far as I've gotten with that remark. But in conclusion, final words saying just protect. I don't mean to sound funny, but protect your neck. Like, seriously, protect your neck. Watch out for the people closest to you. Watch out for the people that are away from you. Watch out for everybody. Watch out for everyone. Protect your goddamn neck. That's all I can say. She was a beautiful young woman. She deserved the best in life. She deserved to have a happy life all the way up into her 90s or hundreds. But she was cut short at 18 years of age. That is really sad, really distressing. But there's always a silver lining, and that is the technology that we use to inspect and to make sure that these things don't happen. Okay, word of the day. Identity. Identity. I got this from going to church. I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist who goes to church with his dad every Sunday. I try not to miss. I don't think I've missed a Sunday in like 2 or 3 years. I think I went to every. I mean, with him, I'm saying, we've gone to different vacations and stuff like that, and had just stayed home. Sometimes he stays home certain days, and on Sunday, and we just sit it out. Okay, who's this said hi? Simon Ferink the boxer. All right, salute to you, Simon, and salute to Bumba, and salute to Christopher Perkin, and salute to Brooklyn. Salute to all of you. But identity. Who are you? Who are you? Are you aware of yourself? Do you think God knows you? Do you know God? That's the thing. You may know God, but does God know you? Is there a God? Of course there's not. And I could say there isn't. A lot of people say, some people say, you can't say that there isn't a God. Yes, you can, because you're saying you're never called upon to prove a negative. You're never called upon to prove a negative. So, and God is a negative. So identity. The pastor, she was on the stage today. Well, not the stage. She was in the pulpit, I guess you can say. But they have like a stage area where they have the praise team and praise worshipers, and they all come out. But she delivered a good message. She had. I'm telling you, they have. It's a shame they're not on the side of Ayn Rand and objectivism and stuff like that, because they're really good speakers, really great teachers. They have excellent poise and humor and gravitas when it comes time for it, and just overall like greatness. That's all I can say. It's really, really good. But she had a box. She had a huge box, giant box, and then a chair, and she put a chair in the box, and then she was just asking like, who are you and what are you? I'm paraphrasing, but she's like just essentially saying, what are you about? Who are you? Can you see within? What's going on in the box? Can you see out of the box? I'm thinking out of the box to put myself in the box. She said, like she just like was flowing. She was just on point like that, and it's just a shame that they're just so mystified that they don't realize how encouraging and powerful their speeches are. So it's just a very, very powerful kind of connotation that takes place within all this. Identity, something that has to weigh on every human being's mind that has a consciousness or a mind. Who am I? What am I about? What am I supposed to do? What is? And she, of course, went to the Bible. Of course, they have to. That's their source, and it's Ephesians. Ephesians is the book that they're currently studying right now. They're currently delving into it. I think it's really cool. So definitely just go to I can't or I can promote. They're not going to pay me, but I can promote them. It's called Word of Life Church, Newark, Delaware. Just look up that. Just put that into Google or DuckDuckGo or wherever you choose to be for your Safari or whatever you want to use for your database search. Well, Safari is not a Google search engine, but it's a browser. But you know what I mean. Use that, and just be on point for the other side. If you're on my side, the objectivist, the atheist, the thoughtful, the rational, just look at the other side, just to take notes. Like I'm taking notes every Sunday. I'm like, okay, so they can talk like this, and I can stay home and watch the video program and get some sleep in probably. But I choose to go to to put boots on the ground in a sense, and just absorb the word and the message right there live in living color, in 3D, as they say, in 3D. You get to understand what their message really is and what they really are trying to convey. And it's just so engrossing and enlightening and just powerful, and you're present, literally present, and the way they use present nowadays, you're just wrapped up in the words and what's going on, and you understand what the difference is. And she's very witty and known for using props. She reminds me of Carrot Top in some ways. The comedian who uses props mainly. He's famous for doing that because she's been using props for like more than a decade now, I think. So I remember she had a big fence, and she was like, "You're taking a fence to this," or something like that. I'm like, and then she used, and her husband uses, people from the congregation as well, and it's a split. It's a split church. It's like there's black people, there's white people, there's brown people. Not a lot of yellow or red people, but black, brown, and white. A lot of black, brown, and white people. Maybe a few yellow people. I've seen a yellow woman come in. She was part of the praise team. But anyway, so I just thought it was an interesting thing. She talks about identity. What is your identity? Who are you? Who is John Galt? Identity, How do you identify yourself? I just came home and watched a documentary series on the greatness of American cinema, and the host is asking, "Who are you? Who are you? What kind of person are you? What kind of human are you?" And that is very powerful. So it is still very sad. To me, it's depressing to see her husband go over to Singapore. He's in Singapore, and that's why she was the lead pastor for today. Um, he was in Singapore, and it's like they're spreading the gospel of Jesus, and it's like if they only knew. I mean, it's so sad because it's like you don't really understand how depressing it is until you're an atheist in your own right, and you're like, they just don't get it. They just don't understand it, and they never been introduced to the right ideas. The right ideas of atheism, not even just atheism, because there's no such thing as atheism. There's no ism and it's just part of the wording. It's just a condition or a statement to say that you're an atheist. There's no atheism. There's no there's objectivism, the study of objectivist ideals, but there's no really study of atheism or being an atheist. You're just non-believer in the theory of God. That's basically all you are. There's nothing else beyond that. That's exactly what it is. It's not anything, to cover it up to say anything further. It just is what it is. But I just thought that the word of the day had to be identity. I thought that struck at, I think that strikes at everybody that has a functioning brain. Who are you? What are you about? What kind of life are you living? What kind of way do you treat your fellow human beings? Are you individualistic or are you collectivistic? Are you altruistic or are you capitalistic? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. I know they're very big terms, but they just mean essentially, are you for yourself without trampling on anybody else? Are you about trading value for value, whether it be money, whether it be ideas, whether it be, whatever the case may be. Or do you sacrifice? Do you give up greater values for lesser values? Do you say that things are, part of your life and can be divorced from it in the blink of an eye almost? What is it that carries on in that way? What is it that brings to you a sense of joy and a sense of happiness? What is it that fuels you? What is it that empowers you? What is it that creates something joyful in your life? That's the question. That's the idea of an identity. What are you searching for? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to be? It's identity. Your own self. And then they have, so much talk about God. It's like church is like, it's like one day of the week, but then there's also some churches, they have Bible study. Some churches have worship and prayer service, or WAP. What does WAP mean? Worship and prayer, Grandma. Worship and prayer. But that's like the thing is with people that don't look into the 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 driven forces of consumerism and capitalism and commercialism. I know there's a lot of C's with the ism at the end, but different holidays like Halloween, different holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, everything. They all fuel commerce. They're all commercial. They're all great because of that, because of what they mean. Like Halloween just means, fun parties for adults and a lot of candy for kids. It shouldn't be trick or treat because that's what is that? Trick or treat is I'm trying to think of it. I can't think of the word right now, but it's something serious like that. It's like what is it? Trick or treating is kind of like holding up somebody, saying you extortion. See, I had to get to the right words. God damn. But it's extortion. You're extorting somebody, saying, look, if you don't give me candy, I'm gonna trick you in some way. Like, what is that about? How do we teach kids to be that way? Even though the kids are saying trick or treat and don't really realize it's extortion. It's extortion. But anyway, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a wonderful holiday for the producers, the people that make stuff, that create stuff. I think all of us on some level have created something at some point in time, or created a value for somebody in some point in time. If you didn't create a product or something like that, but we've all created some kind of value, and Thanksgiving is just an expression of the bounty that one reaps based on the productive might of one's mind. That's the greatness. That's what's so wonderful. That's what we have to tap into on Thursday. And I might have a show on Thursday. I might not. Let's see what happens. If I have 100 people on the show when I first turn off, I'm probably going to have a show, but we'll see. We shall see. But no. Then Christmas. Oh, Christmas is like birth of Jesus, right? Birth of Jesus coming into the world to save the world. But we already know what happened to him because we already had Easter. So messed up. It's like doing a calendar year. Just starting the year off. What, in March or April? You know what's going to happen to him. But, a few months later, we get, it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like Star Wars. It's like, you see that what's going on before, it goes backwards in time. it goes backwards in time, like. But yeah, but it's not about the birth of Jesus. It's about commercialism. It's about winking lights. It's about newlyweds. It's about It's about just having time to write out cards. It's having time to sip some eggnog and some rum if you're into that. That's what it's all about. Hello, Jesus Rangel or Jesus Rangel. Hello. Make sure you tell 1,200 people about me. Appreciate it. Thanks. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so it's not about the baby Jesus. Never been about the baby Jesus. Always been about, putting a tree in your house. What does the tree represent? The tree represents evergreen. That means it's green all year round. That means there's life all year round. That means that we're going to put it in the house. And that was a German tradition. There's a lot of pagan traditions that go on in Christmas, and people don't even realize it, but they're celebrating pagan, ideals. So it's really sad because people don't realize what the truth is. They don't get it. People don't see it. People don't understand it at all. They don't really get the factor, the truth behind it. And that's what's really sad, I think. And what is New Year? New Year's is New Year's. It's New Year's Eve. It's the greatest Eve since Christmas Eve. Everybody says hello and hi. Say something else. Just hi, hello. Say you're terrible. Say you're a horrible reporter. Say you're a horrible journalist. Say something. Torin Shaq Reed. I think I had you on here before, Torin. Salute to you. The greatest part about all this is just looking at the ironies of people, in the sadness of it all. Just look at people that are so against consumerism and so against materialism, but want the money. Like, it's not even about the money. It's not even about the things. It's the ideas. That's what it's all about. That's the truth of it all. That's the reality. So I think it's very sad, because it should be happy. It should be a happiness thing. It should be about happiness. Should be about happiness. Thanksgiving should be very happy. And what do they say? Oh, it's indigenous. This is Indigenous Month, Indigenous Peoples Month. This is Indigenous Thanksgiving. What? Let me tell you something. First of all, anybody born in America, United States of America, or born into any country at any time is indigenous to that country by definition. You are indigenous. You are a native to that country. Now, if you want to call themselves, they want to call themselves Native Americans or Indigenous Americans. I call them usually individual Americans or individualist Americans, because like the horrible name is tribal Americans, which is true, but they should be individualists. They should get off of reservations. They should get no more aid. They should get more casinos, more property, and on an individual level, and start from there. That's what I think. And Thanksgiving is an opportunity to say that your ancestors, they basically gave up places for pieces of jewelry and some feathers, and said it was cool, like Manhattan allegedly. They traded for some furs and some beads and gave up a whole island that was the greatest city in all of the world. So that's just something to grow with. But I'm looking forward to the week. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is Misty Monday. If you don't know what Misty Monday is, it's Mystery Science Theater 3000 MST3K Monday. Great show, excellent show. They had reboots. They had a movie. They had a whole film about it. But overall, it's a great show. What else? It kind of goes back to identity. What do you like? What are your values? What are you interested in? I'm interested in snarky dialogue for horrible movies. That's what I'm interested in. That's who I am. That makes up my identity. But it was very powerful, very groundbreaking to to witness that this morning. The identity. Just taking stock in who you are, what you're about, what you like, what you don't like, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, what kind of music you listen to, what kind of movies do you watch, what kind of television shows do you watch, what kind of books do you read. I'm trying my best to read as much as I can, but I don't have the strength sometimes. I don't have the wakefulness. Sometimes I'm asleep already. It's like I feel like I don't even have a 9 to 5, quote unquote. I don't have to go out and punch a clock to push them out to get that guap. I don't have to do that. The Veterans Affairs takes I always mess up. Is it Veteran Affairs or Veteran Administration? I still don't know. Let me make sure of what it is. I can look it up right now. I think it is. What is the VA? What is the VA? Department of Veterans Affairs. So it's a Veterans Affairs. It's not Veterans Administration. Okay, that makes sense to me now. Yeah, this is pretty. This is strong stuff, Just to take care, just to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and who you are and your own identity and who you might be, who you could be, who you aspire to be. That's what's so important. To have aspirations, have goals, have something you want to do in your life. That's extremely important. That makes the most sense. So it's a very powerful thing to know yourself, to thine own self be true, to have your own identity, that you don't become a carbon copy or a just a carbon copy, I guess you could say, of somebody else. You do your own thing. You can be inspired. You can take different cues from other people, but you got to be yourself. You got to be me. I got to be me. What else can I be other than me? I got to be me. I said it all wrong, jacked it all up, but still, you understand what I'm saying? You got to be yourself. Everybody else is taken. It's a cute joke, but it's the truth. Everybody else has been taken. You are one of one. I'm one of one. There's nothing before me, none to come. I'm the last and only one. You're the last and only one. You ought to take that into specific account and enjoy that fact and live your life like that. Live like you're the only person who has ever existed, because guess what? You are. You're the only one that has ever existed in your body, in your skin, with your lungs, with your stomach, with your heart, with your brain. The most important thing, you're CEO of your body. You're the only one. No one else before that, nobody else to come. Again, you're the only one. And you have to treat every day like that. You have to treat every day like you're supposed to say, I enjoy my life. I'm living my life. I have my own identity. I have my own way of looking at things. I have my own way of being. And that's the way you should always consider yourself. That's the way you should always think of yourself. As a human being who is an individual and represent for individualism, be a staunch supporter of the individual. Do not go with collectives. Do not go with altruistic ideals. Be your own person. Don't be a cog in the wheel. If you can be, I mean, maybe you are a cog in the wheel, but you're a cog in the wheel. You're a separate cog and different from everybody else. That's a powerful statement. To be totally, exempt from crowds and from, collectives and different things like that, and having your own identity, that is key. That is important. That is what makes you you. That should be celebrated. That should be, you should be going to mountaintops. You should be climbing, skyscrapers or something. Maybe not climbing a skyscraper, but you should go to the top of a skyscraper and say, I am me, or something like that. And just the metaphor of that. And I'm not saying that literally, but just to have that sensibility about yourself. That's what's important. That's what should sustain you through times where it's like that. Because Dr. Leonard Peikoff once said, oh my God, what is he now? He's 92. He's 92 years old. And he said, life isn't one endless orgasm. So true. Life is hard sometimes. Life is difficult. Life is tough. Life is rough. But you don't sit down and say, oh, I can't do this. I can't. You got to get back there. Get back on the field. Yeah, it's going to still suck. It's still going to be terrible. It's going to be horrible. But you still got to do it. You still got to do it. No matter what. You got to do it. You got to live your life. Just like in the earlier story. Anna lived her life. She lived her life. They say the cliche, lived her life to the fullest. But that's why it's a cliche, because it's true. People like her live their life to the fullest. They do things that create value for themselves and other people that they value. They try to do the best things possible. They go out and they try things. They work with things. They build upon things. That's powerful to me. I think that is super. I think that's a grand and powerful statement that very people want to admit that they say. Or they say it in passing, oh, I'm just selfish. Ha ha ha, he he. Kikiing. Oh, I'm just a selfish person, They don't mean it. It's not serious. It's not saying like, no, I'm a selfish person. I care about my life. I care about my values. I don't tread upon other people's lives and values. I don't, make it difficult for other people. I try to make it better for other people. I try to make my own life better. The best it can possibly be. Just like, the army. Be all that you can be. It's kind of like it sounds dumb on some levels, but it's the truth. Be all that you can be. Be everything you can possibly be. And have an identity. I'd like to thank everybody that came in for that rush. I liked the rush. It was cool. Didn't go up to double digits, but I appreciate it anyhow. And I will see you sometime tomorrow, probably in the evening. And I thank you very much for watching. Take care.